What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Chop Shop Weekly, your home for everything happening across the Chop Shop Racing League. We've got racing recaps, standout performances, championship storylines, and a look ahead at next week's battles on the track and possibilities of rivalries off the track. This is myself, Brad Dove, as your host, and Jason Day as my co-host. Welcome in, Jason.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Ready for another big week of Chop Shop?
Yes, sir. Well, let's get into talking about the ARCA series. You know, the ARCA series has been a pretty big thing going on this year, and you are our champion over there. Actually, after a long season over there in the ARCA cars.
Yeah, I got lucky and came out with the championship. It was a really good series. We missed the Truck Series, had a bye week this week, so we went right into the ARCA series, and I think I was 4 points behind Pat Green going into the championship, and I needed to win the race. Unfortunately, Pat didn't show up. Not sure exactly what happened to him. I think he just got stuck at work late. I think I talked to him later. I think he said it was work. So that almost guaranteed me a win, or not a win, but a championship. But Kevin Winker was definitely in the hunt as well. If he had have finished a couple spots ahead of me, I think he would have had a shot. So we had to win the race, and we went out and we had a good race. We led the most laps. I think we ended up lapping every car in the field by the time the last green flag came. I think we had lapped the whole field. Unfortunately, we didn't have as many cars as we normally do, but it was a good series. Great cars, lots of fun. Great competition this season. Every time Nate showed up, he was going to win. Kevin was close to winning a couple times. Church had a win. Pat Green had a couple wins. So it was quite even series, all in all. And the Chop Shop did a really good job of hosting it and putting it on. And we had a different broadcaster for this one, so we had I can't remember what his network is.
We had VBR
network on with Michael Bollinger, and he did a great job of his first season of starting out broadcasting. So we're hoping to get some more of his highlights going in the next little while on the show. And yeah, so that was pretty much the ARCA series. It was a really good season.
He did a really good job for his first year broadcasting. The whole series as a whole did great. You know, we had a um, decent standings. You know, decent group of guys. We could have used more. You know, on average, we had probably 9 guys showing up almost every week.
I think 9 to 11. It would have been nice to see 15 to 20. I think would have been a good number for that series. With the way the cars race, they race really well. They're tight. Like tight field, they'd race side by side really well. You raced a few races with us as well. So it's a good series. I'm hoping that we can bring it back and see what happens, get some more competition in there. And I probably never win another championship again, but I'm glad I was able to win the first one.
Well, you're pretty good in them cars. You know, you got a good feel. You got a good setup with your new pedals and stuff. You know, you definitely earned that championship over there, and you know it wasn't an easy one by any means. You know, you were behind by 4 points going into it, and to come out of it is an accomplishment in its own. You know, even though there was only 9 drivers, you should be proud of yourself. You know, that's a championship to be proud of. Any championship here at Chop Shop is hard to get.
Oh, absolutely. The competition in this league is fantastic. I'm happy to get the championship here. I was behind early in the standings. I think I was back to 5th, 6th, or 7th place, 6 races ago, and I think I ended up winning 5 of the last 7 races, and was able to battle my way back and get the championship. So I'm quite happy with the way the team worked and the way the car felt for us. And we had some dominating races early that we had some unfortunate luck. And so it's just another good season for us, and keep the momentum rolling into other series and see how it plays out into the next whatever we do on Wednesdays again.
Well, early on, didn't you have a couple of DNFs? Like you never finished the race for a while. Like that's huge to come from basically last points to win. Like, Congrats.
Thank you. I had a couple DNFs, and I missed a race actually. Also, I didn't make one race. I had to work late, so I missed a race as well. So to be able to come back and do that within those last 7 races, the team put a good effort together, and we had good race cars every week.
Yeah, you definitely got a feel for them cars. They're definitely fun, and I hope we do bring them back. That or we move on to something else over there and keep Wednesdays busy for a lot of us. We all need something to do on Wednesdays. We got Thursdays off, and a lot of us like to race, so it'd be nice to have that.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen. I think in talking with Bollinger and Strickland after the series was over, they're talking that we might do a multi.
Moment we're going to bleep out Jason Day because he is divulging top secret information that shouldn't be released yet because there's a lot of spies out there.
My discussion with the higher ups at Chop Shop, so that's early news. I don't know if it's true, but we'll see how it happens.
We will definitely give you the inside details on what's going on around here. We have contacts at the high levels around here.
We do, yeah.
So we'll definitely get their ear and let you all know. Keep coming back, and you'll definitely find out. Let's go right into the Xfinity series. The Xfinity series is we just got to the cutoff race. It's been a grinding season over there. I know you don't run it, but it's been a grinding season. We just got to the cutoff race, and we finished at Echo Park for the regular season, and Blake Dudley got the original season championship over there with 3 wins, 5 state wins. That's a
good season
accomplishment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's some good competition in that series. Like you said, I don't run in that series due to I-rating stuff. I would love to run that series. It's great competition, but it seems to be one of our Chop Shop's most popular series. It has a good following. The races seem to be always really good. I've caught a few of them. You had a win last week, did you not, in that series?
Yes, I won at New Hampshire, actually.
Yeah, congratulations. That's a really good job. That's a tough track to get a win at, so I'm glad to see you did. And you're not in the championship in that?
I am in the
you are. You're in 11th spot. You're in the top 12 there. And you're number 7th now, right on the cut line for the top 6. I see. So you have 1 win, and you've got 5 playoff points, so you're 11 points back right now. So you just need a good race next week.
Yeah, the cutoff races, I believe, were every. Give me 1 second, I'll get you exactly. I don't want to give you misinformation. Our cutoff races are actually every 5 races in between rounds.
So you've got some time to make up some points.
Yeah, so over the course of next 5 races, you're looking at Kansas. Then we got a bye week for Memorial Day, Bristol, Phoenix, Richmond. Then another bye week, and then we're at Las Vegas for the cutoff race before we go into round 2. And then we're going to Texas, Michigan, Indianapolis, Kentucky, and Homestead. Kansas is a pretty good track for a lot of drivers. It's a driver's track, especially with Xfinity cars. Mm-hmm. You never know who's going to come out on top there. It could become a fuel mileage race, which Kevin Winker's a hell of a driver for saving fuel.
Yeah, my pick would be with Tyler. He seems to be a long run guy. If you get some long green flag runs, I think Tyler is the man when it comes to long run runs. But yeah, fuel mileage, Kevin is probably one of the best in the league at it. He able to keep the car under control and clutching and doing that thing. You've got Pat Green, who's always competitive. RB Turner, who just won at Echo Park, so he's got some momentum on his side. So
he
could
sure
have a good
does.
championship coming up there.
And actually, I do have a clip of that we can go and do real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. We will give me 1 sec. We will share that with y'all. We'll show you guys RB's win from this past week.
Looks like some tight racing. 3 wide behind him on the last lap here.
It was definitely a loose track too. You can tell just by the way drivers are everywhere, you know.
Yeah, tires definitely do, even though it's a plate track or like a drafting track, tires are huge at Echo Park compared to Daytona or Talladega. RB's doing a good job of controlling lines there. I think that's Tyler right behind him there. And couldn't quite catch him after the big wreck happened. He lost his momentum and nobody to push him.
Let's give a shout out to Signature on that broadcast too. You know, he did a good job calling that. He wasn't able to call it that night, but he did call a good race on that, and never knew who won. Congrats to RB on his win. You know, he's doing pretty good over there, and you know, you never know when that cat's going to pull off a tire save or just a good race in general. He's a heck of a driver, and um, yeah, this whole league, you never know. You can first through 15th can win this at any time. It's just a matter of luck sometimes, and RB's got some luck. Tyler Lemon's doing great. Dudley. Um, you know, the Xfinity series is a fun series, and we're gonna be excited to show you guys more of that throughout the course of our coverage of it and stuff like that.
Yeah, the O'Reilly series is competitive. It's got great drivers. RB, congratulations on the win. You're talking about good drivers, well, good guys too. RB's a heck of a standout guy. He's easy to get along with. Never any issues with that. There's not a lot of drama in Chop Shop, which is good. We've got a few things here or there, and we get heated here and there. I'm bad for it myself. I have bad luck in the truck series, and I tend to get a little upset in that. But all in all, Chop Shop does a really good job in all their series, and I'm glad the competition has been really good in this O'Reilly series, and it's brought a really good show to Jason at Signature Esports. So big shout out to him, like you said, to Signature. Most of 99% of all the races at Chop Shop are broadcasted by Signature Esports, so make sure you check them out and give them a like and follow. We'll in our future episodes here, we'll have some links and pop-ups here to go and show who our sponsors are and who our broadcasters are, so everybody support them to help us keep us going here at the Chop Shop Weekly.
Yes, sir. Well, I want to give a shout out to Blake Dudley. He will not be continuing on racing with us in the Xfinity series due to other commitments and doing what he needs to do for his job. You know, he had a heck of a run this season, and it's unfortunate that his duty has been called to go serve for us. You know, it's his job though, and we wish him the best. And you know, our prayers are with the Dudley family as a whole. You know, he's part of the Chop Shop family. He's been with us for 2 years, and you know, Robert's been with us longer. His dad, and you know, the Dudleys as a whole are great people, and our thoughts are with their family.
Absolutely, and congrats to him on the regular season championship. He deserved it and put in a good show. It's unfortunately he can't be here, but thank you for everything he's doing, and like you said, prayers to their family, and keep it all together, and hopefully he'll be back someday.
Yes, sir. We look forward to having you back. You know, come back safe, Blake, and we look forward to spending time with you again soon. But let's go into what we didn't have trucks this week. We've got Nate Bigger winning at Motegi in the Cup car.
Yes, yeah, a really good win for him. Started in the start. I think he started in the back, ran up front for quite a while, and then a lot of cautions in this race. It was wasn't a lot of cautions due to really bad driving or guys getting in each other. It was just a tough track to drive. A lot of self spins. Track was hot not much grip, and throttle control was huge at this track. If you were pushing too much and pushing the throttle down too much and too much input in the wheel, you were spinning around, and we saw a lot of that on Friday night.
It was definitely a driver's track.
It definitely was. Nate was able to make a call late in the race around, I think, one lap at 104, that he decided to go in and get tires at that point. And in his mind, that was the only chance he had to get back through the field by taking tires at that point. And he was successful. The cautions fell his way. We had a lot more cautions at the end, so it was tougher for him to get up through, but he was able to pull it off with, I think, maybe about 10 to go. He took over the lead, and he never looked back. And another win for him, and probably, I think might be actually his first win of this season. But he had 13 wins last season in the Cup Series, so look for him to be really strong. And with the new point system, he will probably have a huge lead heading into the playoffs if he keeps up his momentum like he had last year. And coming in P2 was Michael Strickland, who had another exceptional finish. Didn't have the night that he really wanted. He had some trouble earlier. He had to start in the pits. Got himself off the lead lap, got back on the lead lap, worked his way up through the field, and was able to pass the number 52, Jason Day, late. That would be me. Late, and I end up finishing third. Still happy with the track that I did not run ever until the night we logged in. I didn't even have it. I had to buy the track before we even started racing. So it was a good night. Driver's track, the type of track I like. But all in all, good racing. We had a couple of good guys. Brad, your background noise is pretty loud right now. Sorry about that. But yeah, let me just look at the standings here. I just want to talk about a couple of the guys that are in the race. Yeah, and there was a couple other things that happened in the race. Some really good guys that were running in that race as well. Wesley Donaldson dominated a lot in that race, and he had some pit issues, some traffic issues, and he was able to come up through the field and pull off a fourth place finish after a really tough battle with Joseph Grijalva in the last 10 laps. So good on Wesley for coming back through the field. Tyler Dalton, Brandon Banks, some of those guys had some rough time. They got caught in a couple wrecks. I think Tyler ended up not finishing in the top 10, but Brandon Banks was able to. Good job to Joseph Grijalva, who I think he started 33rd or something and came up and finished 5th. So he was the hard charger of the night. Good race all in all, and yeah, good start to the season for the Cup Series. It's a tight competition, and the point standings are going to be tight for the season because there is a ton of talent in that series.
Yeah, that's only round 4. After that, like, Nate Baker's actually sitting on 2 wins, and David Amon's got a win, and Michael Caffrey. That field's a strong field. We've got guys like Grahava sitting back in 15th in points right now. We've got guys like Joey. I'm going to butcher his last name. Is it Ganti?
Yeah.
Ganti, I think
so. Yeah.
And then you got
Joey Gattina. Gattina. Yeah, Gattina. Yeah.
You got him.
And Joey's strong every week. He's strong every week. He's just had some bad luck or something happens to him late in the race that he's always running in the top 10 most of the races. Yeah,
you got a lot of tough guys, and we actually had a couple new guys join us this week. We had what was his name? I got to get his name exactly.
Wesley Donaldson was
Wesley Donaldson, yeah,
who was super strong, really strong.
He's really strong.
He led early. He was the fastest in practice. Yeah, he had I think he ended up having the pole. Did he have the pole in that race?
Let me look. Wesley Donaldson, did he have the pole?
Or did Nate?
Chris Justice had the pole, and Wesley Donaldson qualified second.
That's right.
And
Justice
Bigger
had that hot
third.
Run. Yeah. Justice had an unfortunate night as well. He was super strong and got involved in a couple little things, but he was strong all night as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys like, it was tough to just finish on the lead lap. You know, I myself, I took a gamble just to lead laps, and it didn't play off. I was hoping for a couple of cautions, didn't play off, and I ended up pitting and going a lap down and getting back late.
Mm-hmm.
It it's a tough track. It was definitely a driver's track. Um, it's going to be a fun season. We've got a heck of a lineup coming up in just the next 5 races: Nashville, Homestead, Indy, uh, Legacy, Atlanta, and then Texas, and then we're at a restriction plate of Talladega again. That's just your next 5 to 6 races coming up. Uh, we actually have a clip of Nate Bigger winning the race. We will go ahead and share that with y'all right now. And again, we give a shout out to Jason over at Signature Esports for doing the broadcast and allowing us to use his links and clips. Without him, we don't get to show you guys this stuff. So that's just how Tetris that track was. It was hard.
That was Justice getting caught up in that. And Nate was able to. That caution happened. It wasn't a caution. That wreck happened on the last lap after Nate had taken the white flag, so we were able to race around to get the checkered. And Nate was pulling away at that time, so he looked really good and had the fresher tires there. So good on Nate getting that win. Good Michael Strickland for second place, Jason Day third, Wesley Donaldson fourth, and rounding out the top 5 was Joseph Grijalva. So congrats to all those guys.
Heck, even the top 10, I can't pronounce his name. Siegfried, Joey, Cam, and 8th, and then Rayburn and Banks rounding out your top 10. That's just a strong top 10. And then, you're that Cup Series has really come a long way, because I remember when we started out with like 18, and now we're at about 39 to 40 drivers almost every week. That's going to be a fun series, a long series, and you're going to take your bumps when you have your bumps, and you got to just try to salvage a decent finish. And finishing in the top 20 in points would be an accomplishment for a lot of guys, especially against 5,000 I-rating guys. I know they're beatable any week, but it's going to be one heck of a year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great series. Chop Shop does a great job with it. Signature does a good job broadcasting, but yeah, the competition in this Cup Series is fantastic. The Cup car is getting better every week thanks to iRacing and NASCAR, I guess, for updating the car this year. And iRacing has been doing a good job of keeping up with the updates with the new aero packages, the horsepower, changing the way the tire works. And I find that the car gets better every week, and it's more and more like a race car than it was something completely different than we've ever run before. So really happy with the way the next gen cars is performing right now, and the competition seems to be pretty even. Any week we can have a winner. Nate's always strong, of course. We're going to have guys like Tyler Dalton, David Emmett, Brandon Banks. Brandon's had a tough start to the season, even though he's in 6th in points, but he's had a tough start compared for him. Look for him to be strong coming up soon in these few tracks. I'm not going to say any names on who's in first place in points right now, but that's not going to stay forever. But I'm pretty happy about it. Wouldn't mind having a screenshot of that, keeping that for the season. But yeah, I seem to be first place in points right now in the next gen series. So keep that momentum rolling for the 52 team here, and hopefully maybe finish top 5 in this season.
That would be really good. And these guys are not anything to put your head up against. They're going to be tough competition every week, and everybody's going to show up with the best that they got. And the extra horsepower, like we ran at Phoenix, we got a couple of them coming up down the road. And what do you think about that? Let's throw it back to Phoenix for a minute, because I really enjoyed the extra horsepower.
I did too. I thought it made the car drive more like it should. You were able to use throttle to help the car steer. A lot of guys complained that it was super tight, but I think that was just a matter of, if you're going faster, you need to back off earlier. Um, it just, yeah, the extra horsepower, you're able to steer the car more with the throttle now than just using the input of the steering wheel. And it drove more like a real race car now, more like the old Cup car used to drive. I mean, it's nothing the same, but at least you're able to steer the car now, use the throttle control, and have the extra horsepower to go down the straightaway and maybe make a pass, and not just. It helped with the dirty air, I thought, just having that little extra power.
It sure did. I learned it throughout the night of how to drive the car. It definitely drove different. It was fun because you had more throttle control, like you said, and it was just different. I think the cars handled like they should at them tracks,
Mm-hmm.
and like I'm excited to have more horsepower. Like I wouldn't mind having the whole season that way because it's just different, and it's not the same like as we had last year, and like being able to give us that throughout the year at a couple different tracks, I'm very excited. It's going to spice things up over there.
I agree, and I think it'll help. It'll help with some of the track. I know we do run fixed setups here in Chop Shop, just so anybody viewing watches. We don't have open setups. Everybody runs the exact same setup. You can only change a couple things, so everything's very even. So it comes down to a lot to driver's ability, that kind of stuff, throttle control, tire management. But I feel like the extra horsepower also helps us from getting away from more of the shifting. So some of the tracks now that we used to shift at, we won't have to shift as much now because we have that extra horsepower, where before you felt like you were bogged down in the corner and you had to shift every time. So that changes some of the tracks for the way it used to be from certain cars. So I like getting rid of some of the shifting. We're still going to use it. It's still a tool that you have with this 5-speed transmission in these next gen cars. So it's still a tool to have, and if you can get it right, it's definitely a benefit. But I think the extra horsepower will benefit the guys with throttle control throughout the season, and it'll be a really, really good season. I didn't mention a couple other drivers here that we need to look out for the season. We mentioned Michael Strickland, who has finished second, but he's going to be a contender for this championship as well. John Hammond. I think Brad Dove is going to be here. One of these plate tracks is going to be a chance of getting a win maybe this season in a next gen. I don't think you've got a next gen win, have you?
Not yet. I'm sitting on 4 Xfinity wins, and it's exciting. I'm excited to see what I can do at Xfinity more than I am a Cup car. Yeah. I think Xfinity cars are more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do like the way they drive. I think it's something it's more that you're used to than the next gen. I didn't like them when they first came out, but now they're one of my favorite to drive. I think it's just more I drive them, the more I get used to them, the better feel I have for them. And there's a lot of guys that are feeling that way. Guys are getting better. Cam Dario, who every week seems to be the guy on the long runs, seems to come up through the field, and he's right there every time. And something bad seems to happen to him with 5 or 10 to go every week, but he's in contention. He'll get a win this year. I think that's one of my predictions. Brandon Banks is going to win. Caffrey's already got a win. A guy who is fast every week, and especially in a couple of these tracks coming up, Indy, Homestead, those tracks look for Caffrey to be really, really fast and contention for a win coming up.
Yeah, Caffrey's a really strong driver. He has a very strong potential to finish good at the end of this season. Him, Banks, Stryker, Nate, you never know who's going to pull off it at the end of the year. Even Kobe Hartung, he's strong. Even though he's pulling
Colby's strong in the trucks, he's struggling a bit with this car, but Colby's a driver. He's a really good driver, and as much as him and I might butt heads on and off the track, I got to give him credit. The kid can drive. He's going to be strong. He'll figure it out. And again, he's one of those guys that's really good at fuel management, pitch strategy, long run speed. So, and when it comes to dirty air, these next gen cars are brutal to drive. So if you know how to control the air in front, and Colby knows how to make his car wider than anybody. So if he can get out front, look for Colby to get a win this year as well.
Yeah, I expect Kobe to at least have one or two by the end of the season. He says he's pulling a part-time season, but I don't believe him. I think once he gets in the flow of things and stuff, he's going to be committed to running full-time. But that'll be seen, you know. We got a lot of racing left in that series, and I'm excited for it.
Me too. I'm hoping we can end up in victory lane ourselves here in the 52 team. I hope we can end up. We haven't had a season yet where we didn't have a win. I think we had one win last season, the win the season before, and two our first season with the next gen car. So hoping I can get back to victory lane this year. I don't mean to talk about myself in this broadcast, but I'm up there in points right now, so I might as well talk about it.
Listen, you're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah,
you know?
So I'm part of the series, so I got to be able to talk about it a little bit. But yeah, I'd like to be able to at least pull off one win this year if we can, and be consistent. If I can finish top 2, top 3, top 5 every week in and week out, that's my season that I want. I just want to be consistent, keep it clean, not have bad luck. Wins happen. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. But if I can stay in that top 5 position throughout the season, I'll be happy the way our team's performing. And if we can just take some of that momentum and put it in the truck series, I would be happy, because we'll talk about the truck series as the season goes on, and we'll probably talk about me getting wrecked every week, but it's still a fun series, and we'll preview that series here in a bit. It was an off week for the truck series, but that is the most popular series that Chop Shop has. We've got an average of 45 to plus drivers every week, and the competition is stiff, and it is rough, and it is no holds barred, and everybody's out to get a win, and it's a good series, but man, is it rough sometimes.
Listen, I think I got your luck now over there in the truck series. It's literally like a canker sore over there right now. Like, I can't get out of the bottom 40 in points.
Yeah, I think I gained 15 points one week, and then 15 spots, and then I lost 20 the next. So it's early in the season, and I'll hope to bounce back. And same with you. But it's a tough series, and there's some new good drivers in that series, like Austin Johnson, who is giving Nate a run for his money in this truck. Tyler Dalton is a 6K truck phenom. There's some other guys now in the truck series, but there's some really Colby Hartung, you can't knock him out. Brandon Banks, Eric Schaefer, those guys are all good in the trucks. So it's going to be duking it out. Great season this year.
Yeah, it's we're on we're on week where were we just at? We're on bye week. So
yes, we were bye week. Yeah,
we are at Texas
this week. Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah, Texas tomorrow, which will be restarts will be the key. If we have many cautions, restarts will get 3, 4, 5 wide. That's where you make the passes at this track. Because of the momentum, once they get spread out, you just kind of follow the leader. Dirty air does play an effect in these trucks. It'll be a bit drafting because you're almost wide open to start off for the first little bit in the tires. So it looked to be look for it to be a little rough in the first few starts, and then kind of pull away and maybe be a green flag run towards the end. But I expect Nate to be really strong there. Austin Johnson, I think he's going to be strong every week. Strickland, Dalton. I've never counted Joseph Kazi. Kazi's really good in these trucks and has had bad luck as well. A few races. Same with Dalton. Yeah, it's a great series. Lots of guys.
We can actually go ahead and pull up the point standings over there while I'm thinking about it. Right now we got Kobe Hartung second behind Nate Bigger. Nate Bigger's got 3 wins. Kobe in second. Austin Johnson sitting third. Michael Strickland in fourth with a win. Then you got Tyler Dalton, Joseph Kazi, Schaefer, Banks, Logan Kroger. He's pretty good. He's got a win. Chad Coleman, Anthony Crownover, RB, Joey, Michael Newberg. That's solid for him. He's doing pretty good. Doug Sigmund, Brian Wertman, and Fred Chase, Pat Green, Clint Hackett, and Craig Parks rounding out your top 20.
And that's a tough top 20, and there's 20 guys from 20 to 40 that could pull off a win any week too. Like this is a tough series, some great drivers. I'll get to mention, I've only mentioned a few tonight, but we'll get into it each week. But like guys like Logan's got a win already. Logan's had some up and down races where he's rattled a few cages, but he definitely got the speed. Maybe a bit aggressive here and there, but he's got speed every week. Chad Coleman, another new guy to the series this year as well, has got good speed every week. I'd like to see my buddy Clint Hackett get up there in the top 10. Clint's a great dude, easy to get along with, races clean. You never have to worry about him. Just has some bad luck as well. I feel like all the nice guys get all the bad luck. I think that's why you and I have bad luck all the time, Dove. We're the nice guys. But yeah, it's going to be a great season. Looking forward to it. And again, that's another series that's on Signature Esports and has a good following. So let's have another good season with that.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about you because you're sitting 24th in points. You know, I think there's a chance for you to like jump another 10 over the next week. There's potential. We might see you in the top 20 by the end of the week.
I wouldn't mind. What I would like is, I think this is my third or fourth Truck Series season with Chop Shop. I've yet to have a win in this series, so if I could just get a win in this series, I'd probably retire from it. I could get done with it, but no, it's a great series. Yeah, I'd love to get a win, but not at Texas. I don't think it's a track for me. That I'm not super strong at with the trucks. Other cars, yeah, maybe with the trucks, but I don't know. Just hope for a top 5 and gain some more points and try to get back in this playoff hunt. We've struggled here to start the season.
Yeah, you've definitely had some bad luck. Let's name a couple other guys that have had some bad luck. Wesley Strait, John Hammond, one of our great league owners. Joe Hudson's definitely had some bad luck as well.
And Joe's been strong. Joe qualifies really well. He's always fast to practice. Qualifies up front, fast. Usually one of the faster guys, and then I don't know whether it's a bad pit call or a bad strategy. He gets himself in a spot where something seems to happen to him and he falls off towards the end of the race or gets caught in a wreck, which happens a lot in this series.
Actually, I can brag a little bit. I just cracked top 30, so I kind of feel a little. I'm sitting in 29th. I just was looking over the points. I'm like, that's pretty decent after all the weeks I've had. But
yeah, that's pretty good.
Let's roll right into the Cup Series future. We're coming up on going to Nashville Super Speedway. That's a pretty good track for a lot of drivers. It's one lane, sometimes 2 lane, depending on how much rubber decides to build up. What do you expect there?
I expect some long green flag runs this week. I think it's we're going to get to our stage caution. We might have 1 or 2 cautions early to the stage, and I think after the stage we're probably going to go green flag for the rest of the race. I think you'll see Nate Biggard, obviously favored every week. I'm going to get so sick of saying his name on this show every week. But I love you, Nate. Just so you know, he's a fantastic driver. Always helpful. He does help the guys out, even though he kicks our ass every week. He's still willing to help and let you watch him race around and figure out what he's doing. So Nate puts on a show every week, and he'll be strong. I expect Brandon Banks. I think this is going to be the bounce back week for Brandon Banks. I'm going to do my little draft pick right now, but I expect Brandon Banks to pull off the win this week. Let me look at the standings here again. There's some guys.
If you're going to pick Brandon Banks for the Cup win, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to pick Tyler Dalton.
That's a good pick. Tyler's strong every week. I think speaking of Tyler's, I think Tyler Lemon is racing part-time with us in the Cup Series, and I think if he shows up, he's going to be a guy that could finish top 5. It's one of those tracks that'll play into his tire saving, long run speed pace. So if he shows up this week, I expect the Tylers to be up front. I raced Tyler in a cup car in the Coca-Cola, or not Coca-Cola, but the Signature Esports 600, and we battled out for long green flag runs. So he's definitely the guy that, for long run pace, he'd be the guy to look at. Chris Justice, let me just talk about him for a sec. But that guy has unbelievable one-lap pace, can be super strong. I think Chris tends to, if he has a little trouble, tends to get a little aggressive trying to get it back, and that's where he gets his bad luck from, is trying to get himself back in the field. But I think Chris Justice is one of those guys that potentially could win this week, or is definitely going to be a top 5. I'm going to say pole winner for this week is going to be Chris Justice as well. He's going to be back-to-back pole winners.
I am going to have to back you on that. I absolutely love his one-lap speed. He is absolutely insane fast just for one lap, but he struggles with long run pace sometimes, and I think it's because he goes so hard early.
I think that's what it is. It's Chris has got a super nice guy, easy going, but he has a heart rate monitor when he has his stream up, and you can see his heart rate at unbelievable high levels for a guy who's sitting at a sim rig. So he gets amped up for those restarts. When things happen, you can see that heart rate go up a little higher, and you can see when he comes back after those bad things happen to him, the heart rate is up and he's a little bit aggressive, and that's where his long run speed goes away. Because when you're not calm and you're not breathing right, you tend to crank the wheel more, burn some stuff up, and get yourself in trouble. So if Chris can have a nice, easy start to a race and let it go green flag pace, Chris will be a guy to watch out for. But if we get into a little bit of chaos or lots of restarts, that's where Chris tends to fall off a little, because he gets himself in trouble. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna pick him to win the pole and potentially lead 10 or 15 laps in that race, and maybe a top 5, top 10.
My second pick, I'm gonna go with our points leader, Jason Day. And I'm going to bag on you a little bit. You know, you say you have a hard time at certain tracks, but I think this is one of your good too. It's going to suit you really good. It goes to tire saving, being confident in yourself going in the corners. You know, that track is a concrete track. I think you are decent on concrete surfaces, and I think you have really good potential of getting a good top 5, if not top 3 finish.
I appreciate it. I feel, you know what, I feel like every week right now in the next gen car, I feel like I have a chance to win, which I didn't do before. So finishing off of last season, where I finished second in points in the old championship point system, I finished second to Nate. I felt pretty good the last 5 or 6 races of that season. The car really came to me, and we started to feel more confident every week in that car. And this season, same thing. Super confident. The car feels good. I've been running up front. I'm actually getting stage points. So yeah, do I think I can win? I'm not going to be that guy to say, yeah, I can win. I'm not that confident. But do I think I have a chance to be in a top 5 car if I keep it clean and stay out of trouble? If we have long green flag runs, I feel like, yeah, we're right there. A lot of cautions, a lot of restarts. That's where I tend to struggle. I'm not as aggressive as a lot of the other guys. I tend to, maybe it's the Canadian in me, and I always say sorry, but I tend to back off a little bit and not get in trouble and let the other guys kind of duke it out and then fall back, and that's where I kind of come back again. So that's the way I've always been. I've been doing the sim thing online since 1999, so shows how old I am, but I've been doing this a really long time, and I've never been super aggressive. So yeah, it's just the way I am, and I've never changed.
And I'm going to give you a dark horse just because I can.
All right, well, I'll give you one afterwards too.
I'm going to give you Michael Caffrey. He's strong everywhere.
I wouldn't say he's a dark horse, though. I would say he's probably one of the favorites to win anyway.
I'm going to he's my dark horse. Look where he's sitting in points. Like, he's had a rough year, all right, to start off. So we're going to give him that. But he's going to be my dark horse because you haven't mentioned him yet, and neither have I, except for the points and the rough start to the season. So he's my dark horse.
Yeah. Caffrey's my pick for Homestead or what's our other flat track we have coming up? What do we got coming up here?
We've got
Indy. Caffrey's my pick for Indy or Homestead. So that's where I'm going to go. There, Caffrey to me is like the Tyler Reddick of our series. He tends to like the tracks where you're racing up high. closer to the wall, big momentum tracks where you don't need a lot of braking. That's where Caffrey seems to be his strong point is momentum tracks where, and not talking about me or anything, but the tracks where we have to do a lot of braking, shorter tracks, that's where I feel like I'm stronger at than the momentum tracks. So look at Caffrey to be really good at these tracks where you don't need a lot of brake and you need a lot more throttle.
I also look forward to seeing him down the road in a couple of weeks when we go
At the
to
road
the
course.
road courses.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a couple of them on the schedule. He's going to be really strong at a road course. He's going to be someone who can battle Nate and give Nate a heck of a run.
100% agree. I think Nate and Caffrey are the two favorites every week we go into a road course in this next gen car for sure. My dark horse for next week, and I think he's gonna. I don't even think he's a dark horse, but I think my pick for next week coming up is I'm gonna go with Michael Strickland. Get his first win of the season, and he's gonna pull it off now, and then he'll keep his momentum going. But Strickland, and I look to see. I think Cameron Devereaux is going to be the guy who's going to surprise everybody, and he may pull off a win this week too. But can't pick everybody to win.
He's really started to figure this car out. You know, he got back with us last year, and he's actually doing pretty good considering he hasn't been back in the rig that long.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for a guy who took some time off the rig, he got back into this car, and it suits him well. I remember 2 or 3 years ago when I first started in this league, Cam was one of the strongest every week in this next gen car. So I look for him to be strong as well. But I think Strickland, my dark horse, is probably going to be Strickland to come in and win this race this week. And I think it's going to happen with a late pit strategy or something's going to pull out. And Mike Stryker seems to have the best luck when it comes to a late caution or just a little move at the end of the race that puts him in the right position to pull off a win.
Yeah, Stryker's unpredictable because he's strong everywhere.
Yeah.
But you never know. Like, just after Motegi, like, he went a lap down because he was taking care of his stuff, and he finished top 3. You know, his strategy can come out of anywhere, and, you know, it's...
To go on that, I think, like, you know, where I talked about Chris Justice, where his heart rate goes up and he gets himself, you know, worked up and the heart rate goes up. Stryker, if he has bad luck, he's still laughing on the radio and having a good time, and somehow he works his way up through there. And so if he's having a bad day or a good day, Stryker seems to still always be in that same mood and keeps him calm. And I think that's why he's able to battle back even when he has trouble early.
I definitely agree, and you know, I look forward to seeing John Hammond also have a good run there. Last year, he had a good run at Nashville, and I look forward to seeing John have a really good run. You know, there's so many strong guys. We could go on about the Cup Series forever. Like, there's so many strong guys. You never know who's going to win. But Nate Bigger's definitely your lead dog, and there's a lot of guys right on his heels that we can look forward to watch battle throughout the whole season. And
totally agree. And that's why it's our premier series. That's why the next gen series is the premier series, because this is where all the good guys go. This is where all the good racing happens. And if you're looking to see how it's done, you know, like I said, I've been doing this a long time. This is one of the best leagues I've ever been a part of, and the competition is unbelievable. Sure, is there some other guys out there in iRacing that probably whoop all our butts? Absolutely, but end of the day, competition, good group of guys, Chop Shop is where it's at. If you're looking for a good league to run in with great guys, great admin, race control, broadcasted, Chop Shop series, whether it's ARCA, Truck Series, O'Reilly's, Next Gen, road course racing, Chop Shop does it all. So give them a check out, check them a like on Facebook, check out Signature Esports, VBR Racing, all those guys. Thanks for helping us out.
Yeah, thank you very much. We got one more to go through, and that's the O'Reilly series. We're looking forward to Kansas. It's a night race. Definitely a racy track. You know, there's definitely multiple grooves. There's a lot of good guys there. It's playoff time, guys, and it's going to get exciting. Let's go ahead and look at our top 12 in the playoffs one more time. There we go. You got Tyler Lemon leading with Blake Dudley being retired for the year. Pat Green in second. RB Turner in third. Jonathan Casebeer in fourth. Kevin Winker in fifth. Fred Chase in sixth. Brad Dove, myself in seventh. 11 points below the cut line. Eighth, Brian Wortman. Ninth, Robert Dudley. 10th, Clint Hackett. And John Hammond in 11th.
It's a good battle, good series. Like I said, I don't race this one. I don't know the guys as much in this series. I've watched a few of the guys I do know. I'm gonna say right now at Kansas, just based on how that track runs and normally green flag runs, my pick is I'm gonna go with the points leader right now, Tyler Lemon, to win that race with a strong John Hammond potentially getting the win and maybe a P2 or maybe pulling off that win. And I think Clint Hackett pulls off a top 5 this week. And I think he gets probably third or fourth. And I'm gonna say, Brad Dove, you're gonna end up with a 5th or 6th place this week if you keep it clean and don't stay out on those cautions on those 35 lap old tires when everybody else has got brand new tires. So if Brad Dove goes off the norm a little bit this week and stays with everybody else tire wise, I think you've got a shot at a top 10 this week.
I look forward to seeing Tyler and Kevin and everybody battle this week. My winner for this week, I'm going to go with Kevin Winker. I think it's going to turn into a fuel strategy race at some point.
Pick.
And, John Hammond up there battling with Tyler Lemon, Pat Green, RB Turner. You throw myself in the mix. Robert Dudley strong here. Clint Hackett going to be up there. It's going to be a really good battle, and then you got some of the guys that aren't in the chase that could pull it off. You don't know at Kansas, but Kansas is a driver's track. We'll look forward to seeing how that goes. It's going to be unpredictable, I think.
I totally agree. I'm staying strong with my Tyler Lemon. I think Tyler, now it's playoff mode, and Tyler's going to step up his game. And if you get long green flag runs, I think Tyler gets this win.
I think so too. And then where's the Cup Series at? The actual Cup Series at this week? Do you know?
Actual Cup Series is at? That is a really good question. They just finished off at the Glen. What do you think about SVG coming back from 29 seconds?
That was
performance
insane.
of a lifetime right there. Do you think?
Yes, that was very insane. It's kind of like the 88 Connor Zillage in the Xfinity series. He was 27 seconds back. Tires mattered at that track, and
absolutely tires and being a good road course guy. Like Connor Zillage to me is going to be one of the best race car drivers to ever come out of North America. When it's all said and done, the guy's won Rolex 24s. He's won, I don't know what he win, 10 Xfinity races last year. He's gonna win at the Cup Series. He's had unfortunate luck. Trackhouse is really far behind the game right now in the next gen car, which is unfortunate. But I think once Trackhouse figures it out again on the ovals, Zillage wins at ovals. Zillage has the advantage over SVG when it comes to racing at ovals. Zillage seems to have figured that out more than SVG has, but road course wise, SVG is a king. I've never seen anything like that in my life. He was gaining 3 seconds a lap over guys in traffic. It's just unbelievable what he was able to do. Talk about the Truck Series this week too at the Glen. Congratulations to Caden Honeycutt on getting his very first Truck Series win on a guy who is a short track oval guy, not even a road course guy, to go in there and get that win. So congrats to him on getting that. Obviously in a really great truck, in the 11 truck, who I think they won.
They won the championship last year
with with Corey Heim. I think they won 11 or 12 races. So that truck's strong. Caden Honeycutt is a sensational driver. I see him, in my opinion, he wins 5 to 6 races this year. Now that he's got that win off his back, he'll be calm. He'll start winning some ovals. He's strong every week, and that truck is unbelievably strong. And Zillage pulling off the win at the Glen, that was kind of expected for me. I kind of had that in my head that he would pull that off. barring nothing bad happened or bad, pit stop strategy or whatever, he was kind of my favorite to go into that. Or SVG, like those guys. But yeah, Connor was the guy to win that for me, and SVG was my pick to win on Sunday. So I would have had if I had a bet this weekend, I would have had a pretty good weekend. Most of my guys all did well, except for I had SVG winning the truck race, but he didn't quite go his way in that.
My fantasy, I finished second to Nate, and it's all because of the ending with Connor.
Nice.
And the Cup Series. So, they're going to Dover for the All-Star race.
The All-Star race this week, yes, yeah.
There's going to be some different rules there. Not all to be determined yet. We haven't been told about them all yet, I don't think. Dover going from a regular season race to an All-Star race, that's a little different.
It's a little different. It's a huge hit for Dover. It's unfortunate they lose that Cup Series race. Glad they're still able to get something. Dover's been one of my favorite tracks for years and years and years on the sim or even watching. Not so much with the next gen car. I was never a fan of it with the next gen, as a fan of real NASCAR or even in the sim. But yeah, it's been a great racetrack over the years. Who do I pick to win an All-Star race? That's a tough one. Based on the formats, how everything works, who knows? Kyle Larson, always good at All-Star races, so you can't really count him out, even though I'm not a huge fan, and he has had bad luck again this year. Hendricks, up and down. Speaking of the Hendricks stat from this weekend, first time since 2005 that there wasn't a Hendrick car in the top 10 at a road course. So that's a crazy stat. So
I'm a Hendrick fan too, and it's hard to see him struggle. The whole Chevy camp as a whole, I think, is struggling. Shane at road courses is unbelievable as well as Connor.
Though, I mean, the Chevys have been doing okay. I mean, like I think Spire has stepped it up. Like Carson Hocevar, Daniel Suarez has actually been running well, even on ovals. So some of the Chevy cars are running well. Hendrick's always strong. I just don't work that way. RCR is not strong. I feel bad for Kyle Busch, who is a guy who still has a ton of talent and still could be winning races if he was in a good race car, in my opinion. I see the frustration.
He did have a good finish at Watkins Glen.
He did have a good finish at Watkins Glen. At the ovals, they're struggling. Even Austin Dillon had a top 10 in that Watkins Glen race as well. So RCR did do well with their road course package, meaning their cars turn right better than they turn left, I guess. So that's why they're struggling at ovals. That would be my guess. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I'm a Kyle Busch fan now later on in life. It wasn't early. The more mature he gets and seeing stuff with his family, I became more of a fan of his, but the frustrations are definitely boiling over for him this year. I'd like to see him either RCR step it up or see him leave, somehow get out of the contract and go somewhere else to finish his career off, because he still has a few wins left in him, or leave and go to the Truck Series and just go back and dominate for a couple of years. I don't know.
Well, he is in a contract year, and we don't know all the insights of what's going on there, but there's a lot of talk about him going to Spire and maybe Michael McDowell being out, but Michael McDowell just had a huge run at the Glen.
But Michael McDowell only ever has a huge run at the Glen or at Talladega or whatever. Like he's normally not strong every week, where you put Kyle Busch in one of those cars, he's going to be strong every week with Carson Hocevar. Kyle and Carson have a good relationship on the track. They've had some good races together in the Truck Series. They've learned a lot from each other. Obviously, Spire was the one who got the deal with the Kyle's trucks when he sold the truck sold the truck team off. So there's definitely a connection there with all of that stuff. So that would put Kyle in more Truck Series races if he was to go over there. Plus, get him in a Cup car there. That would be a good thing for Kyle. I just want to see him get a couple. I just want to see him get a couple more wins and have a chance.
I would love to see Kyle win. Like you said, early on in his career, was I a big fan of him when he was driving the M&M car? No. But now I feel for the guy. I would love to see him in victory lane. I'd celebrate for him.
Yeah, I would too. And I'm like, again, like some of the guys I'm not fans. Like I'm not a huge Denny Hamlin fan. Wasn't, but have been since he started his podcast and things, and you get to listen to him and how much he knows. I want that guy to win a championship. I thought he was robbed last year with the way the point system, the way that championship stuff goes. He deserved a championship. He's the best driver in NASCAR to never win a championship. Statistically, it shows that he's the best that there ever was that never won a championship other than Mark Martin. Is
I
the
was
only
about
other
to
one,
say,
which is my all-time favorite driver, along with Bill Elliott. But he didn't get a championship. My favorite driver now, I don't know who's yours is now, but mine's Ryan Blaney. So I'm a Chevy guy, but all my favorite drivers all seem to have driven Ford. So maybe that's an omen for me to switch to Fords one of these days in this sim thing. But
I'm a William Byron fan, and he's struggling this year, and
sure is, yeah.
This whole new car kind of design, I think, is a struggle for Hendrick in general right now, and all their secrets got spilt somewhere, and now they got to.
I don't know if their secrets got spilled, but I think what they had going that was working for them was working with the old package. So whatever little tweaks they had or whatever advantage they had went away with whatever they took away. So it's one of those things like look at the first year the next gen car came out. Trackhouse was super good. Ross Chastain, those guys, they were winning races because it was an even playing field. Nobody knew anything about the car. So Trackhouse was just the same as everybody else at that time. And then each year, Hendrick, Gibbs, the big money teams, they started getting better and better, and those smaller teams started falling off. So changing something up this year made some of those bigger teams go, oh, whoa, what we were doing for a while isn't working. We got to go and revamp, whether you call them cheats or whatever they have or whatever little loopholes they have in their setups. That change has exploited that. So whether it's the horsepower or the diffuser or the change in the tire, they need to rework that. And Hendrick will get it back. I mean, the big teams always do. And by the end of the season, you'll see the Hendrick cars being up front. I mean, Chase Elliott has been racing great. That team's been doing really well. Alan Gustafson's been doing a great job with that team, making good calls. So the speed is there. It's just a matter of executing as a full team. And I'll go on to my driver, but Ryan Blaney. Like Ryan Blaney should have won almost 5 races this year if it wasn't for his pit crew losing him 38 spots every time he goes into the pits. So again, it's a full team effort. Tyler Reddick's been there every race. As much as people say that somehow they're cheating or they got extra horsepower because of the lawsuit, I don't believe that. I think Tyler Reddick is a very talented driver underneath a super, super talented management team with Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin. There's a lot of brains there, and their money's going to the right places. So I think that's why they're so strong, and they're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, Tyler Reddick's unbelievable. He was strong even when he was over at RCR. That's why he went to where he is.
Right, and RCR is not a strong team, and Tyler Reddick was winning races in not good race cars.
Exactly. Any final thoughts?
Well, hopefully we didn't do too bad is my first thought, and see how everybody likes this. I apologize to everybody for my background, and you get to see my sim rig / living room. Somehow I made the background that Brad has, and it will not stay in my background. So hope you like the background, but we'll have to get it figured out. Maybe next week we'll have something a little different. Apologize for that. Apologize for our roughness. We'll get it a little better. We'll have some intros next week. We're going to do a couple little driver interviews each week as well. Nothing big, just more NASCAR style. We'll bring in maybe a race winner for a quick 30, 40-second interview, talk to them about that, get a couple little clips. We're going to do the Dove Bomb Award, which you're not going to do this week, but that Brad will talk about that a little bit more. But Brad has now signatured his own move and has rights and trademarks to the Dove Bomb now. So it's he's going to make some money off of that. I've got my Lane Community College hat on, so just shout out to my son's baseball team who's made the playoffs and they're hosting regionals at their college level. So hopefully they start this week, so hopefully they have a good strong chance of running and winning the Northwest Division, and they're in the college division. So good luck to them. So I didn't mean to talk about baseball, but I'll just do that for this week.
You're good. You can talk about it every week as long as you're in the playoffs. How's that?
It's all good. So I just wanted to get a little shout out there. I don't wear the hat very often, so I thought I'd wear it tonight. Yeah, other than that, we'll be less rough than we were this week, and we'll get better every week as we do this, and we'll get better at pushing all the buttons and figuring out what we need to do and make this a really slick broadcast. We're hoping to have it something like the old NASCAR race hub type show is what I was hoping for, and I think Brad's on the same page
Kind of
as
like
me
the
about that.
speed. The
Yeah, kind
speed,
of like the
yeah.
speed show, NASCAR race hubs, that kind of show, even though we're not as pretty as the girls that were on there, but it is what it is. So,
And we're not as knowledgeable as Dave Despain, or
no, not as Dave.
yeah.
And we're definitely not as pretty as Shannon Spark, so we'll go from there. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody coming out to watch, and thanks, Brad, for having me be part of this, and I'm looking forward to doing this with
Well,
you.
thank you for
from now on.
being my co-host. You know, without you, you know, we gotta have two. I couldn't do this by myself. I was actually nervous about today. I hope
I'm
y'all
so nervous.
enjoyed
I was
this
like shaking
stream.
before we started here.
Oh, listen, we were not prepared one bit,
Not
but
at all.
we figured it out. You know,
We
and
did.
we're gonna piece together each week, and hopefully y'all enjoy it and come back and want to watch us again. And you know, we're going to gain more knowledge and
Right.
more rhythm of how to do this. And
Right. And we'll try to keep the shows down to somewhere between a half hour to 45 minutes. Right now we're an hour and a 5. We've been talking a little bit, but we'll get it down a little faster and here and there. And some weeks will be longer, some weeks will be shorter, but we'll.
It all depends on what we got to talk about.
Right.
Like sometimes it's going to run long, and if
Exactly.
you guys enjoy it, you know, you'll stick around. If not, well, we're sorry. We're trying our best.
And you're going to continue doing some of the Chopp'n It Up podcasts with extended driver interviews. So Brad is going to continue that process on that we've had a few other. I think Ryan Went used to do it, and a couple other people. So Brad's taking over that role. I'm going to do a few interviews, extended interviews of some of the drivers in this league, so we get to know a little bit more about them personally and their personal lives, what they like to do, maybe their dog's name, who knows. I know Brad's got a couple dogs. I see them all the time on his camera, so it's. But yeah, it's we're looking forward to getting to know all the great people here at Chop Shop. They do a great job. We'll even maybe bring in Jason for an interview, talk about Signature, how he's always done that. So yeah, big support to all of them, all our sponsors. Hopefully we can get a few more here with this show. We can bring on a couple other people on board. So thank you very much for checking us out, and thanks, Brad, again for having me.
Yes, sir, Jason. Thank you. And we would like to give a shout out to our sponsors, Signature Sports. Without him doing all the great broadcasting he does, we wouldn't be able to put some of these clips up. We're going to get better at putting these clips up, and you know, we're going to work through these. Next week we're going to try to have the Dove Bomb for you guys. The Dove Bomb is award to a driver that basically has the biggest wreck because they were
either causing it or being part of it.
Yes, yes. Basically, it's something I would have done back in the day, and it's a fun award to go with, and I look forward to handing that out to each series with you, and it'll be fun. We've got admin box. We've got let me look
Speedy
at
Speedy
trophies.
Chopp'n Up Podcast. Stay tuned.
Sports.
Sorry, Brad, I'm stepping on your.
You're
just
good.
Ones I remembered.
You're good. I'm struggling right now on these ones. We'll have this. We're going to get this sorted out. I promise.
And we're going to get T-shirts. We're going to get matching T-shirts that have the show name on it. And if we get really popular, we'll start selling some and with some autographs, and we'll get some money going here for Chop Shop.
Yeah. Could you imagine? That'd be awesome.
I want a shirt with Brad's face on it. So.
Yeah, y'all want a picture of my face?
I do.
We've also got Premier Racing Setups, Geomax, Lunatic Designs, Dove Farm LLC.
You forgot your own sponsor.
I did. Thompson Racing, Adrenaline Line, Sign and Wear, Dirt Tour.
We promise we'll be better at this. We'll have some cheat sheets and we'll be able to read this off, no problem at all.
MCI Graphics, Geomax, we can't forget baller status.
Baller
Baller
status.
status is a big part in our league.
Yeah. And VBR. VBR is a
And
sponsor.
VBR.
Another one of our broadcasters and our sponsors. He broadcasted and sponsored the ARCA series.
And we can't ever forget my three sons. Jerry's mom.
Right.
You know, she's always with us no matter what. Frago Paints, Striker Shades. Am I missing anybody else? I don't think I am.
If we're not, we'll get them next week.
If we are, we will definitely have them better next week. We appreciate you guys joining us, and we will see you on the next weekly show next Monday night, same time.
Same place.
Thank you, Jason. See you next week.